Rachel with Marley, and today we're going to be working on the aggression that Marley has with other dogs, particularly fluffy dogs. For some reason, he really doesn't care for them. So, first of all, I hope you notice that we have a harness on Marley. This is just an extra one that we had around here, and it happened to fit it. It's been working really well for him today because it gives us a little bit more control over him, and it also takes some of the pressure off of his neck because, you know, he pulls on the leash a lot, and you know, that gets tight around his neck, and he'll be coughing and everything. So this harness kind of spreads that out, and it reduces that some. So this is good on him. It's a little tight around the neck area, but it's nice and snug around his body so that he can't get out of it. Now, how we're going to work on this aggression issue is try to correct it when it happens and try to teach him that that's not acceptable. It's going to take a lot of practice, and really that's the best way to go about it. I will show you a few different methods that hopefully work to get his attention. And how we're going to test this is we have Diva, which is one of the fluffy dogs that he really has a problem with, waiting around the corner. Diva's on a leash, Marley's on the leash, and we're going to introduce them without him actually able to get up to her, and we're going to correct his aggressive behavior from a distance. We don't want Diva to get too close because we don't want to put her in danger. So, Marley's being very good. He's always super good with the training. It's just the socialization that he struggles with. As you notice, I don't have any treat bag on me. That's because we don't want to give him a treat with this. If we do that, it might distract him, but he also gets a treat when he shows aggression, which is not what we want to do. We don't want to encourage or reinforce that behavior. So instead, we need to deal with it like as a correction and as something negative instead of something positive. While the treat would distract him, he is a smart dog. He picks up everything else in training so quickly that he would just start to learn that if he goes after a dog, he first of all gets to go after the dog and also gets a treat. So he is being pretty mellow now. The first method that I'm going to try is a squirt bottle. That's what we use here, is to distract him. We'll see how he responds to it. So I'm going to get him up here in the camera, and I'm going to have Tamima bring Diva around. Diva might not make it on screen, but we should see his reaction to her. Now, Diva is nervous, and Marley definitely reacts to the nervous energy dogs. As you can see, he's very alert, but he's not pulling. He's being very good right now. All right, so Diva's coming up. She's going to come just a little bit closer.
Come on, girl. Come on. It's okay. Come on, Diva. Come on.
He's very nervous about this. Good boy, Marley. Good boy. Alright, now he did pretty well there at first, but then you can see how he does go after a dog. And now I use this squirt bottle. It does not hurt him at all. You can see I had to squirt quite a bit, but it's just to get his attention away and distract him. And, you know, he doesn't like it in his face, and so that is something negative. He didn't respond to it very well right away, and so if both dogs were off leash, I'd be very concerned about that interaction because the squirt bottle was not effective enough at completely stopping him. I was reading his body language a lot too, which is why I continued to squirt him, even though he wasn't making those scary bulldog sounds. That's because I spent quite a bit of time with Marley. I know the difference between his playing and his aggression, and he was still really focused on her and had that look in his eye. So be receptive to his body language and what he is telling you with that. So, since that didn't work, we need something that gets his attention even more. We're going to use the Caesar Milan trick. If you've watched the dog whisperer, you know that he takes a flat hand like this and just pokes in the side, right in the flank. And the flank is right here where his leg meets his side. It's a sensitive area. It doesn't hurt them, but they feel it enough to where it catches their attention. Pair that with a loud noise or an ah, something like that to get his attention, and pair it with the noise so both come at the same time. With this one, you need to be careful that Marley doesn't turn and bite you. He hasn't shown any aggression to people, but when dogs do get in fight mode, their common sense kind of turns off and they're going off of instinct. So if you have something longer, I don't really have anything around here, but like out in the play yard with dogs, we use the chuckets, which are the tennis ball throwers. That way we can poke them in the side, and it gives us a little extra room to where our hands are not in the way. So just be aware of that with Marley, even though I don't think he would turn and be aggressive towards humans. So I'm going to have Diva come back around, and I'm going to try to get up to him and give him a physical correction with no noise. So Taneva, can you bring Diva around? All right, here she comes again.
Come on, Diva.
Pass him over here, and then Diva is very nervous, and Marley picks up on the nervous energy. He's already scared her a little bit. As you can see, he didn't hurt her at all. Marley.
Come on, girl. Come on. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. That was also not very effective. He seems to have the most problem with the dog when he gets right up to them. You know, when she's several feet away, he doesn't really care. Now, when I got down there and I was pulling him back with the leash because I didn't want him to harm Diva, but when I got down there and gave him his first poke, he did kind of turn and snap in my direction. I think that was just a reaction. I don't think it was directed towards me, but it was just a reaction to, you know, something bothering him. So I personally would be very hesitant to use that as my go-to method to get him to stop, because it is not worth you or any other person getting bit over it. Luckily, you can see that I do have very good control with this harness, so I wasn't worried about him harming her, so I don't want to put myself in harm's way. One other thing is we have a pedigree button. It emits a high-pitched sound, only dogs can hear. We can't hear it. It gets his attention. Now the key with this is to get it close to him and offer a correction. Try to offer a verbal correction as well. We'll see how this works. All right, so if Diva could come back around.
Come on, baby. Okay. Come on, Diva.
Marley.
Come on.
Now I can see with his body language it's more aggressive than the first time because he knows her now and he knows that he wants to go after her.
Come on. Come on, girl.
Marley.
Come on.
Okay. That also was not very effective. It did get his attention. You could see that he turned to it, but it didn't actually stop him. And stopping is what we want, because if he weren't on a leash right now, we would have a dog fight on our hands. So, this didn't work very well. The one last thing I can try today, which of course, this is not going to be fixed in a miracle 10 minutes. It's something that has to be worked on a lot. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull Marley away. I might get off camera, but I'm going to try to get him to listen to some basic obedience commands for me, where I assert my dominance by making him listen to me and getting his attention off of Diva and onto me and make him listen to me. Now here, I don't want to use treats again because it would just be reinforcing that if he goes after a dog, he gets a treat in addition to going after them. but I'm going to see how well it works to get his attention off of her. So if Diva could come around one more time. Here she comes.
Come on, baby.
All right, now that's close enough. She's just a few feet away from him now. I can tell by his body language that he is being aggressive. I don't want to get him so close to where he gets out of control. If he gets too close to her, then none of the other methods that I have really get his attention. So here, I'm just going to try to pull him away from the situation before it's too much for him to handle. So he is very focused on her. You can see I'm pulling on him. He's not swaying from that. So Marley, this way. Marley, sit. Marley, sit. Sit. Marley, heel. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Marley, heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. Good heel. Diva can go away now. She's done being scared. That seemed to work a little bit better. When I did try to physically take him away, that's when he kind of fought harder against the leash and had those aggressive noises of going after her. So that is a problem, but as you can see with that method of pulling him back before it gets to that chance and distracting him, making him listen to commands, I think it's going to be the best way to go about it. So it's not giving him that chance, and hopefully it will teach him to get away from that frame of mind. That when he associates kind of those aggressive feelings that he feels, that he'll have to do some boring healing, which he really didn't like. And so hopefully that will teach him to not act on those feelings if he associates it with something that he doesn't want to do. While we were healing, he was listening to me fairly well. He was very tense, not sitting all the way down on his tushy. And so that shows me that he was still really focused on her. So therefore, we just want to work with it so that he gets more and more attention on me. I think what I would try next time is just constantly healing him, past her, around her, and all of that, so he gets sick of healing, and that way it will tire him out in that way of doing something boring, to discourage it before it escalates. With it being escalated, you know, the method of the water bottle, poking him in the side, or using the pedigree high-pitched button weren't effective in stopping that, and so that shows that we need to stop it before it escalates to that. So, like I said, next time I think healing around Diva until he's bored and his body relaxes and he's actually sitting and doing a full relaxed sit and heal. I think that would be the best way to work on it. So we'll keep doing our part here, and you're doing the right thing by bringing him here to socialize him, because we do work with him in addition to these training videos. So if you are out walking and he passes a fluffy dog that he has a problem with, look at the body language. Even if you don't think that he's going to be aggressive, make him do his healing so that he starts to learn that right away, even when he isn't exactly showing it, because we don't want it to escalate to the growling and the snapping that he was doing. All right, this is Rachel and Marley working on aggression, specifically with fluffy dogs.